Hello, with me today I have Romy Meurer. She's dismissing her German heritage for South African pronunciation, who I've known for about a year. And I discovered that she has a little sideline business, which is not so little, both in what it does and the size of the business. It's called the Gift Wrap Studio, which I discovered on Instagram while adding her to all of my contacts. So I thought I'd bring her in today because while we're still somewhat locked down and trying to do things that we wouldn't normally do and communicate with people and keep in contact, I'm of course inviting a few people of different professions on to be interviewed with me so that I can support those that I work with and those that follow me, and as well entertain you a little bit. So good morning, Romy.
Good morning, Jason.
So for those of you who do not know who you are and haven't heard of the Gift Wrap Studio, can you tell us a little bit about what it is and how it works?
I can indeed. Thanks for having me. So I started the Gift Wrap Studio about 4 years ago. It was a long time kind of in development, but really it just grew. It grew organically. Well, the whole concept grew organically. Is I've always absolutely loved gift wrapping, and I really love beautiful things, and I love stationery and paper and ribbons. And so whenever I used to wrap gifts for friends or family, I'd present it to them and they used to say, oh no, it looks too beautiful to open. And so I always have kind of been of the opinion that gift wrapping is really an extension of yourself. I always say when I do my workshops, which I'll get onto, I always say to people, would you like to open your cupboard every morning and jump into a bag? If you jump into a bag, it allows very little creativity and expression of who you are. And I mean, how we dress is it says a lot about you as a person and your character. And, you know, do you wear color? Don't you wear color? Do you accessorize? Don't you accessorize? And gift wrapping is really essentially that. And I just believe if you're going to spend money on a gift, why don't you gift wrap it beautifully so the person feels really special when you give it to them. And yeah, so I used to really take time and spend a lot of energy and creativity on gift wrapping, and all the recipients used to say, it's so beautiful, I don't want to open it. And then eventually people used to say to me, can't you just teach us how to do this? Can't you show us how to do this? Can't you inspire us? Can't you? And then I kind of started thinking, I ran a marketing business for 18 years, and I think my biggest concern with my marketing business is that I just lacked any form of, it lacked for me real creativity where I could actually really create and kind of be fulfilled being creative. And that was really lacking in my life. And that's how I kind of I decided that maybe there was a potential in actually kind of exploring this as a business opportunity. Everyone at the time said I was absolutely crazy. I mean, who is honestly going to be bothered with gift wrapping? You know, it's your passion, nobody else's. But strangely enough, the uptake and the interest in the business has been phenomenal since the day I started. So yeah, it's just grown and grown and grown. And yes, I mean, now it literally has kind of overtaken my marketing business. I still kind of manage the two. I run events. But yes, I'm really loving it, and I'm loving exploring how to grow the business in different ways.
Wow. And I, as I said, discovered you on your Instagram page, and the pictures that you post there are incredible. The creative outlet that one can get through wrapping a gift is exponential. Yeah. You mentioned jumping into a bag, and I get that because if I'm in a bag, I have no avenue for creative expression, but the bag is your competition. How do you respond to those that say, well, it's just easier to buy a gift and drop it into a bag?
Of course it's easier, and it's the easy way out, and it's the lazy option. So yes, I mean, but I always have the opinion, if you really, so my point is people need to set time aside and they need to plan, which is what people don't do today. You know, when you go to a party or when you're going to a birthday party, you literally, on the way to the party, you're running around looking for a gift, and then, well, of course you can't wrap it because you don't have any of your tools. You don't have anything with you. So what is the easiest thing to do? Yes, let's just buy a bag, pop it in the bag, and there you go. But I just think that is crazy. And I think people just need to plan better, and as we do with everything in our life, and then it makes it a lot easier. Like I say when I do my workshops, you need to be organized. So you need to have a box in your home that has all the essential gift wrapping items. So you have a pair of sharp scissors, you have double-sided tape, you have some sellotape, you have everything that you need to make the job easy, so that when you decide, okay, now I need to wrap this gift, you're not searching and screaming at your kids because they've stolen your sharp scissors and they've taken your sellotape and the press stick's missing. And yes, because then it just becomes an agonizing kind of chore. So yeah, I mean, well, I always say to people, they're either people that love gift wrapping and will take the time when I do my classes and I show people how to gift wrap professionally, or there are people that will continue to always buy a bag. And those people are not my target market. I mean, it's like some people look like they're walking around in a brown paper bag. I mean,
so Romy, you mentioned these workshops. What do you have for the man on the street? And I have to smile when I say man and ask you, do you have a lot of male clients? So 2 questions here. What is the workshop or service that you offer for the average person out there? Because you mentioned corporate as well. And how many male clients do you have?
Okay, so I have 0 male clients.
All right, next question.
I actually don't think it's because they're not interested. I just think they think, oh no, that's far too girly. That's a girl's thing,
All right, well, I hope that
that's girls.
I hope that this interview circulates with all the single people out there. You should attend a course.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so when I started the business, I thought, okay, when I need to do this as a proper business. So I gave a lot of thought to it. I trained in America and in London. I did a lot of research into what are the global trends when it comes to gift wrapping. And I wanted to offer a service that kind of was on par with what they're offering globally. I did a lot of homework in South Africa, and there was absolutely nothing like it in this country at all. And there still isn't. I have no competition, fortunately.
That's
yeah, it is quite amazing because a lot of people just don't place importance on wrapping a gift. Everyone loves receiving a beautiful gift, but I think South Africa is getting there slowly. I mean, overseas in Europe, I mean, if you walk into some of their stores, I mean, just how they package boxes of chocolates, just how they package macaroons. If you go into any store and you see a lot of these stores in Japan, it's off the charts. Everything is about presentation and what it looks like. Because if you feed the eye first.
Tell us about the services that you have.
Yeah, okay. So, I consult to corporates, big corporates and retailers on what does their signature packaging look like. Because a lot of the corporates, they've got a lot of different departments and there's no kind of consistency. So the finance department may be, gifting a client and they wrap it in, I don't know, whatever they've got. They may throw it in a bag.
Chewing gum.
Exactly. So what I do is I go in and I say to them, okay, let's look at a signature gift wrapping and packaging. And then we develop that, and what does it look like? And what do you need? Do you need boxes? Do you need paper? Do you need tissue? Do you need bags? And then we literally conceptualize that with a designer, and then we print their packaging, and then I go in and I train their staff how to gift wrap and present anything that leaves their company, so it looks consistent with their corporate look and feel.
Right. So I would imagine that you work very closely with the marketing department because you've got
absolutely
the corporate ID that needs to feature, plus you've got the strategy around gifting to clients, bringing them together and creating the means that are required in order to deliver this beautifully packaged gift.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great. And then so outside of the corporate workplace?
Okay, outside of the corporate workplace, I decided to actually do workshops. Because people love workshops, they love creativity, they like doing something different. So I decided to do gift wrapping workshops where I actually train people how to wrap professionally and wrap various gifts, shapes, sizes, different styles. I mean, there's so many different ways to wrap a single gift. So it's really, that's where your creativity comes in, where you decide, also for men, the gift's got to be a little bit more kind of manly, and for women, you can use pretty ribbons and pinks and bows. And so I teach them how to like work with a color wheel. I teach them different bow techniques. Yeah, really, it's a 4-hour workshop, and they learn everything from A to Z that comes to anything that they would learn that's globally trending at the moment when it comes to gift wrapping. So the workshops are a great success. Yeah, and then thirdly, I have started a whole range of gift wrapping supplies. So one of them is personalized gift wrapping paper. So you go onto my website, there are a whole lot of designs you can choose from, and you can literally personalize it with your kids' names, your auntie's names, your uncle's names, your family's names, your boss's name. Yeah, and it just adds to that personal touch when you gift wrapping beautiful.
So if I want to give my wife a gift and personalize the wrapping paper, I can go on, choose a design, and put her name on it, and I'll receive that to wrap the gift.
Absolutely.
And that's all done online.
Yeah, all done online. Yes, and it's a very high quality gift wrap, and we print. There are no minimum orders, so it's not like you have to order 40 sheets. You can order 1, you can order 2, you know, it depends on how many gifts you've got to wrap, and they're all A1 sheets, so you could probably wrap about 2 or 3 gifts out of each sheet.
Well, I learned this morning that Mother's Day is around the corner. I believe it's this Sunday.
Absolutely.
Can people go on, order, and get delivery in time this week?
Well,
okay.
Well, sadly, I was actually just on the phone with my courier company before we got into this interview, and I'm not allowed a courier because it's not deemed an essential item in level 4 lockdown.
Okay, so maybe we'll be in time for Father's Day, and there are lots of events coming out through the year, and lockdown levels will decrease, so everyone will have the opportunity to personalize an order soon enough, we hope. Great. So these are the events that the single guys need to attend, right?
Yes. And you know what? I mean, I mean, I'm very flexible. So I have my set class schedules, but then I also do private gift wrapping. So if guys want to do it as I think they'll think I'm crazy.
No, it's not going to work. Okay.
If you want to do as a bachelor party, bring your beers, bring your whiskey.
No. Didn't you say you had 18 years of marketing? That's not going to work. But as a strategy to meet other single women, yes, I think it could be appealing to men.
Absolutely. Maybe I should start singles gift wrapping workshops.
You'd have a premium price workshop. And do these workshops end up being anything like book club, where they go and they learn a bit of gift wrapping, but they also drink a lot of wine?
Absolutely. I mean, it's
why am I
about
not surprised?
Well, that's why I mean, obviously, because of social distancing and all the laws, I can't be running workshops at the moment. And also, the biggest reason is because I've run out of wine, so I can't even serve you wine at the moment.
Well, there seem to be bootleggers in every complex nowadays, or trade. And this trade's happening. I don't know, like white, I'll give you that for your red. There's a lot of alcoholic trade happening. So maybe you could run something, but you'd have to drink in your own private capacity while having something online. Speaking of which, are you doing anything online with the Gift Wrap Studio now? If you can't personalize anything or deliver, have you embraced any Zoom communications and online communication whatsoever?
Okay, so I mean, that's such a good question. So what I have been doing is I have been trying to post on my Instagram and my Facebook kind of creative, what should I call them? Like creative, to inspire people creatively and to do like little mini art classes with their kids. So yeah, just ways of kind of decorating paper and then using that as a gift wrap, which is very personal as opposed to buying gift wrap. So I've been trying to like kind of keep up to date with that. But I am looking at, in the next week or so, I've got the whole strategy developed, is actually filming videos that I can actually put online so that people can follow along and I can teach them gift wrapping skills online. That'll
be amazing.
Yeah.
Great. So if anyone wants to follow you, you say Instagram, Facebook, how can they find you?
It's all just the Gift Wrap Studio, Instagram at the Gift Wrap Studio, Facebook, the Gift Wrap Studio, and then my website, www.thegiftrapstudio.co.za.
Romy, thank you very much. It's an amazing service. As you said, there's nothing else like it in the country. It's beautiful and presentable. And even just to follow your Instagram page is entertaining because of the visuals on it. So all the best. And I hope that once you get online going, you have some good following and you get to influence some people. And once lockdown lifts, the business starts to soar.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason, and thanks for the opportunity.